Okay, I think the decision's been made. I don't know if you've seen the, excuse me, the earlier posting of me talking about the chicken pen and how we don't know what we're going to do with it. It's pretty weathered, worn, tore up. Can't really do anything with it. Pretty much everything would have to be replaced if we were to do chickens again. But I think we decided to just take everything apart and not even mess with chickens. We may come back to working with chickens later on down the road, but as for right now, chickens are a no-go. You can see some of the stuff we've already taken apart. If you do chickens though, make sure that you know what you're doing. Look it up, or have it built. We built this one way too big. My head, I can't turn the camera around, but my head barely reaches the middle of that window, and I can't even get back far enough for you to see how big it is, but you can see how much bigger it is, and that's on the low end of the building. There's actually a little bit, the other side is just a little bit taller. So don't build it too tall unless you plan on building a jungle gym for your chickens, which they really don't need. Not unless you're raising meat birds or something. But also the gap. This end is not bad because we've got the extension for the bird yard. Yes, I've got more work to do closer to the house, but that'll come later. But when you get away from that, there is that whole gap under that tin is big enough for raccoons to get into, which we did not know. We thought raccoons were so fat that they couldn't get through that. Oh no, they're like a cat. If there's a gap to get through, they can get through. This wire is because that was another window. The other windows had wire on them too. We had to board that up because of a blizzard that occurred a few years back. And again, there's two boards stacked on top of each other and critters can still get in there. So you'll have to think about that if you're doing chickens. This side, it looks like we pulled the wire off, but we didn't. These are the, I can't remember what they're called, but they're the U-shaped nails. They're kind of like staples, but they're actually nails. And the rest of this is just nailed. The top was nailed too, but as you can see, it got pulled off. So, the nails that were, or not the nails, I'm sorry, the staples, like these, they got pulled out partly. So I just went ahead and ripped those out. There was a ramp there. Like I said, all of this was the chicken yard. That was just enough room for them to run around in, get some exercise. Also your locks. Don't do hook and eye unless, let's see if I can do this without hurting myself. Unless you can get a lock right here, like a key lock, not this. This works for temporary, but like for overnight or something, make sure that a person cannot open this, because I can guarantee you, if a person can break in here and grab your chickens or grab your eggs, I can guarantee you that a raccoon can do the very same thing. I've actually heard about raccoons outsmarting people. Flooring is just as important. You want solid flooring. We had, you guessed it, chicken wire all the way through here, even for the flooring, even out in the chicken yard. Everything was chicken wire. Not only was that not a good option, but even for the wiring, we didn't do it right. We added that last. So whatever came up from underneath, I had to plug a few holes, but whatever was coming up from underneath that left those holes, they tore through that chicken wire. I had to staple it on top because, like I said, we didn't do it right. So, it just got stapled down. It was the only option I really had. Did not work. I eventually had to rip that out because the exposed part was tearing up the chicken's feet. They didn't want to come in here. Well, if wire was sticking up, I wouldn't want to walk on it either. You do want plenty of airflow, but just, again, check your gaps. Make sure that nothing can come through. And also make sure that it's watertight, that no water or snow can get in. You want airflow. You don't want water flowing in. If you're not sure about building it, not only are there how-to videos, but if you're still unsure, there are people out there who would be more than willing to help you build a chicken pen. It doesn't take a whole lot of space. Why we built this giant monster, I have no idea. But anyways, if you do decide, just remember that as far as the housing side of it, they only need room to roost. The rest of it can just be open yard. You can fence it off to make sure that they're protected. Okay, cats are acting a little weird. But, yeah, they don't need just a fortress or anything. Also, location. Try not to build it too close to trees. The trees give wonderful shade. And we were also thinking about that this tree would block some of the snow and rain and stuff. No, all it does is give wildlife the opportunity to jump up on that roof and climb down into the hen house. These open gaps, they went from the tree across and somehow ended up going in through the top. Most people probably already know this, but there's a lot of people that don't. So those are my tips on building a setup for chickens. That's about all I got on that. Anyways, yeah, this building is coming down. Wood's no good. Probably either going to get burnt or sent off somewhere. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, just like any other project, just do your research before you actually start hammering stuff down. Yeah, that's all I got on the hen house. Y'all stay safe. Have a wonderful day. I think we've got some weather rolling in, so we'll probably hunker down here in the next half hour or so. Anyways, we'll see you down the road.